Hey friends, there's something that nobody tells you about finding yourself. Everybody wants to hand out their advice on how you find yourself, but nobody really tells you what happens once you do. What happens when you're happy with your life? When you're comfortable in your own skin? What then? I'm here to tell you, it's probably not what you think. Maybe you've been there before. You got the job, moved into the big house, you have the shiny new car, and everything is going great for a while. Then restlessness starts to seep in. You're finding different ways that you're disappointed, and you thought you had everything under control. I get it. There's a crucial piece of information that is missing from every bit of personal development advice that's out there. But before we get into that, let's just talk about how you find yourself in the first place. Throughout the process of finding yourself, you have to ask yourself some questions, like, what fulfills me? And what's preventing me from living my dream? And probably one of the hardest ones, am I willing to do whatever it takes to overcome or eliminate any obstacle that's in my way? These questions aren't easy to ask, but you'll find some really interesting answers. And even though it can be uncomfortable, the more questions you ask, the better you'll actually feel. Because if you're asking these questions from a place where you're dissatisfied with your life and uncomfortable, by asking these questions, you are going to realize that you're not stuck where you're at, and you have the power and the ability to change your situation. It won't always be easy to make the changes that you need to make in your life, but these changes will not only get you to your ideal self, but they can redefine the trajectory of your life as long as you do just a little bit of follow-up on these answers. Even asking yourself the kind of questions that help you to realize your true self, it can be really hard work, and it can be even harder if you don't like the answers you're coming up with. But stick with it because things are about to get really good. It's time to take action. Taking action is something that only you can do for yourself. You need to probably carve out at least a couple of hours per week minimum to really work towards your passion. And if you think that a couple hours a week is a lot of time, maybe it's time to ask yourself another really hard question. How bad do you want this? So this is all well and great, but didn't I mention there's a catch? Once you have the life that you've always dreamed of, after a while, things start to get comfortable. You'll get used to this life and suffer from the internal form of lifestyle inflation. Nobody warns you that what once was your dream is now just your comfort zone. And we worked really hard to get to that spot. And even when the gratitude and the newness of that comfort zone starts to wear off, it may grow old. Sometimes we still cling to it, even though it's become a source of discomfort instead. We are sometimes happy to stay in a place of discomfort just because it's familiar, when what we should be doing is preparing ourselves for another round of serious questioning, for another stage of growth to meet a new goal. If you're aware that learning something about yourself is just part of the journey, once you get there, you can stop, appreciate it for a while, and realize that eventually you will need to keep growing. There have been so many versions of me, and not one of those versions really encompasses the entirety of who I am. Bob Proctor tells us that if we're not growing, then we're deteriorating. Everybody feeds you this line about how finding yourself is an end-all be-all situation, and it's not. Once you get there, if you just stay there, it turns into a comfort zone, and you'll eventually start to deteriorate because you're not growing towards something new. And half the time, by the time we find ourselves, we're already halfway to being someone else. So if you're not happy where you're at, it's probably because you've settled into a comfort zone. And even though at one time maybe that was the newest and best version of yourself, it's probably time to push yourself again and discover just another part of who you are, because finding yourself is not a one-stop destination. So thank you for watching. Hopefully this video helps you realize a little something about yourself. Like, if you're not happy where you're at, you might be in a comfort zone. And maybe it's time to really dig deep and do something new. Don't forget to hit the like button if this video helped you. And if you want to see what I have coming every Tuesday, go ahead and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.